you're part of that. We are Mom and Dad and kids.
You're going to get more confused when you get through here.
We put you in on this. We just tell you one thing. Dad, answer the kids. From David and Brenda and Ron, Carol and Dave. We want to welcome you on this wedding anniversary. And Dad, Carol has come to give you special and your son
Isn't that something? It's their anniversary. Yesterday was their, or Friday was their anniversary. So they decided to make it, we did a double thing. Where should I go? It should be a wristlet. That's not.
What are you doing? Somebody flashes in your light, David.
Yeah, she had her baby, but she died. She had my, oh, Kathy Joe? Yeah.
Oh, Dad, can you help her do this? There's a lot of you. She'll be strong in
What anniversary is it? 45 and
All right, Elba. Ross? Any happy?
Too late now. I knew there's something didn't go Sure didn't expect this. I said, hey, we're reaching in for glory.
Oh no! I didn't think you heard that. Oh,
See, I don't ever leave. I just stay right here. Just catch all the action.
Get Ellen fun here.
Smile. Hang your mouth open, Jennifer.
Mine, big.
I imagine it going through the front.
Oh. Who is it? Now warn us, all these cameras. We don't know who's going to click when.
Well, you don't have to, don't smile yet. You wear your smile all out.
We don't want to smile for 5 minutes, though. So warn us.
Who are going to wait?
They say they want you and they tell you they don't. We'll be able to stand real close together.
Trouble, I see your trouble.
When we take the 4 kids and their spouses, we could have them leave a space for Marion.
See, Daddy?
Come again?
That's the kind of camera we set up on top of the first show.
Oh.
We're not ready.
What do you think they've been doing?
This is a Land Rover.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't land. Are we there? You getting us? They're gone?
I think, yeah, one would
It'd be kind of interesting. So, anyway, so we need to round up Royal's family.
Her legs hurt. Yeah, I started with that.
Yeah, hide behind your wife. That's
Didn't suppose they got over to the store and got lost, couldn't find their way back to the house.
Very possible.
What's this? Look at that camera.
That's quite a group, that's all I can say. We're going to get one big, large group picture here.
Oh, look at that.
Come on, John. Excuse me. Daddy, kids force it at the...
Hey, Ron. Ron, try one of these. It works better than here. Okay, so line them up from grandma right on around.
Did you make that first? No, not that green. No, that's the one. Other
Be more than hearers, but that we be doers of that which they hear. Bless thy ministers again all over the land, we ask you this morning, Father. Anoint them and away from their homes. We would ask you for those who are in authority over us, those people, that they may continue to go on with thee. On and on, Lord, deeper in thy word each day. We ask it all in thy precious name. Amen.
Yards from our homestead shack out there, and Mom was baking bread, and they smelt that bread, and so one of them come over and wanted to know if they could get her to bake something. So she said, well, sure, she would. They said they'd get some flour, so when Camp Tinder come around, why, they got some flour, 50-pound sack of flour, and he threw it over his shoulder and brought it over there. So she baked them quite a bunch of bread. I don't know how many batches.
Every week.
Yeah, and then they come over shortly after that, they got eat that bread up, and so they come over again and want to know if she'd bake them some more bread. Well, sure. So they come with another 50-pound sack of flour. And of course, they wouldn't take it back, so we used it. Then another time we had to go about 4 miles out to collect our mail. We lived in about 4 miles in on a wagon trail is all it was, and old buffalo trail probably. And we had a neighbor there that was a war veteran. He had gotten his neck broke and he had to have it in a cast. And his wife's name was Lottie. And I think they had an old buggy. I think that's where the old buggy comes from. That's the last time Leah got bounced out, you know. And so they was going on after mail. And out there they had great big round patches of cactus. Yeah, and they were real yellow, beautiful. But they raised off the ground quite a little bit. And so this old horse, he was an old horse, but I don't know, something spooked him and he run away. And he had a little buggy behind him with a little boot on the back that was supposed to have a few tools in it. And that's where Leon was riding. And when this buggy bounced over one of those great big round beds of cactus, why, out bounced Leon. Old Duke, he run clear on up to Crazy Woman Creek, and then he stopped. He didn't want nothing to do with that crazy woman. But anyway, they went back then and collected Leon, and he lit in between two of those big patches of cactus, and he never got a single one.
Wow. I was worried.
Well, I guess you would. Have to turn you over and see while I pulled out the cactus.
Well, there was lots of things happened out there.
Okay, Leanne.
But did
Yeah, we used to have stray cattle all over out there, and we had a dog. Boy, that dog, he'd just take those cattle out of there just a storm. Remember those sports?
Oh, yes, I tell you.
As long as you stayed there and would go like that, why, he'd chase those cattle and you'd see him on a ridge maybe 1.5 miles away, and he'd look around and see if you motion him on, he'd take them some more. And if you turn around and walk off, then he'd come back. Some stranger come along and the hackles would stand up and he'd just walk a circle. Never say a word, just growl. And we'd tell him, no, now you lay down. And he'd go over and he'd lay down, but his yellow eyes would watch that guy every minute. That's about it.
Okay, Leanne, it's your turn.
I don't have much to say.
Can we believe that, Ron?
2 hours here.
There were lots of things happening.
One thing I really don't remember it, but the one incident where Mom had 5 Indian head pennies that had holes drilled in them that Dad put the holes in. But there was a sheep herder that had his sheep across the creek and his horse got away. And
10 guys and a white horse.
yeah, got on the homestead side of the creek. And Mom, she got out there and chased the horse back to the other side. So the sheep herder rode back over and wanted to pay her for her services. And he reached in and pulled out a $10 bill and he looked at that and down, and pretty soon he put it back into his pocket. Reached in the other pocket and he pulled out 5 Indian head pennies. That's all he had, so he handed her the pennies and thanked her and took off. There is one incident, I don't know if Royal remembers or not, it happened later on when Royal and I was out there with Andy and Pete on the homestead. And Royal and I was going to dig out the old well on the homestead. And we started, been filled up with flood water and such. And we started in digging that out, and of course we got down to about 10-15 feet, and it got pretty mucky. Well, we had to take our clothes off, so the only way we could get down in there and working on that. So at the end of the day, when we were ready to go home, we'd get out of that old mud hole in the well, and no clothes on, we'd take off about 1/2 mile harder than we could run to the creek to get in there, and that old stuff was just dry, just hard and caked on us. And then about 3 or 4 weeks after that, we had a cloudburst come along, and we didn't built up around the well proper and it all filled up with water again.
Chickens, they drowned in those old places.
Yeah. That's about all I can think of right now on the past doings. Well, see
Okay, Mother.
But you want it.
I don't remember much about Wyoming.
That's for sure.
Put that out of your mind, huh?
Oh, yeah.
But first thing that I really can, the farthest back that I can remember is Leon and I sitting on a table in the kitchen on Yamhill Street, swinging our feet, watching a bedroom door over there for it to open, and Mom was in there with a doctor, and finally they came out and said we had a baby sister. Irma. And that was when we first came to Portland, Oregon, anyway.
Yamhill Street, where's that?
Portland.
Portland.
It was just below 82nd, and let's see, Yamhill.
Go to 82nd on Yamhill, and then you go up to about 90 something where the house was we were in.
Oh,
They're white out. Will be 2 rooms.
well, one thing I sure remember with Mom is,
She was
I shouldn't say this way,
midwife.
be dragged around, but Mom was an evangelist, and she went here and there to have meetings, and once in a while when I was, 17, 18, 19 I guess, we went to a place and had to ride around in the back of an old pickup with nothing on it. It was so beneath my dignity. I would sit there and pull my dress down so nobody would see it and everything, but that's the way we had to go from one place to the other, and I didn't mind so much playing the piano, but this one place, white salmon and Bingen, and they had an old pump organ, and that was something else. Keep your fingers going and keep puffing too. But we've had a lot of experiences going here and there and playing the piano and singing with her. Well, one place that I sort of didn't really like, but she used to go down to the mission downtown, and we'd had pretty sheltered life, and so we didn't know much about liquor and the smell of it and so forth. And you go down there with that different type of man, but she needed us, so we went, Irma and I, we'd sing duets and we'd sing trios and so forth. But then one of the other memories, Mom was always helping us learn to sew and make some dresses and clothes and things. And another thing that I remember with pleasure, even after we had moved down on the coast, she was always good at hiking, and boy, you get out and have a picnic, and she'd hike and go up and down rocks like you wouldn't believe, and she was always a little bit heavy. So it wasn't always that easy for her, but she was always a good sport, that's for sure. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot more, but that's something.
Okay, Aaron.
Well, of course, I remember the music in the home. A lot of people always, and a lot of music. And,
Hey, get in the picture there.
Walk into the mic now.
and a lot of people would bring over their instruments and things, you know, to play in our home with music. And of course, one of them was my husband at the whole age of about 14 years old. And, but I think the best guest was a little bulldog named Bunker that used to come to our home from about 5 blocks away. And my mother loved to sit at the piano and sing. Well, Bunker decided she needed somebody to sing with her. So he would perch himself down in front of her, throw his little head back, and he would howl and howl. And finally she'd get enough of it, and she'd say, "You go on out in the kitchen." So out in the kitchen he'd go, but he still sang a duet. He still howled. So then, then my sister was taking violin lessons. Yeah, I know, yeah. And, but anyway, so my sister would go up in her room and play her violin, so he'd go up the steps, and he'd play, he'd sit outside the door while she was playing, and he'd howl. So finally, one day we was all out in the kitchen, and we heard a plunk on the piano, you can believe this or not, and a howl, and there was Bunker sitting on the piano stool with his paws on the piano keys, howling his head off. So there was never a dull moment. But I think the most interesting was my mother wanted to take Japanese lessons. And so there was a little Episcopal mission down on Front Street, and this Nakaja was his name, and he wore his little black gown and his little white collar. And somewhere or another she got a hold of him, and he said he would give her Japanese lessons.
Japanese.
Well, she did not want to go alone. So I said, well, all right. So I went along with her. Well, it was quite an experience because that building was something else. There was mice running all around, which I dearly hate. And he had a fingernail about this long. And he would put something on the blackboard, and then he'd use his fingernail like this. So I talked Elva into going with us one time. And that was a mistake. She sat there with her head down on that table, and she shook all over. Well, I couldn't even think of what he was trying to teach me. She just come unglued. And then those mice running around there, that was about the end of that for her. But we did get through the first book. And Mom and I stood real tall in that class. There were little kids about like this, Mom and I. But anyway, then they decided they was going to take a picture. And they had one of these old cameras that you had to put the black cloth over your head.
A tripod.
And that old tripod, it was an old wooden one. Well, he just about get everything all set to go, and the legs would start to skid. We was wanting to hurry up and get out of there anyway. So about after the fourth time, he finally got someone to stick their foot on the leg, and he got a pretty good picture, didn't he, Mom? But anyway.
In other words, you graduated.
Graduated from the first book, and I thought I was doing pretty good. But you say, come here to a child and a woman one way. You say, come here to an animal another way. You say, come here to the man another way. Well, he asked me to say, come here to him, and of course, you know what, I got the wrong one. He says, that's a bad mistake, because that's just like saying, come here to a dog. I said, I'm sorry. So, anyway, we had a lot of experiences, but we made it through the first book, and I don't know if she can still say some words or not.
I got mine yet.
All right, Sam.
Let's hear.
You bet.
Okay, Sam.
Say some words.
Can you say them?
Chloe was come here.
Right.
And let's see. I don't know. I had a lot of it. It's been a long time. Well, we graduated with those little tiny kids only about that high. And then we were grown ups. And they would laugh at get the diploma with them.
That's why your daughter's in
Susumea, hey, you taught you Susumea? What'd she say? Ni no maru, no hata, batansai, batansai. I don't remember what I was
Can you interpret it?
Oh yes, come here, come here. Please come here, come
What
here.
did you say, lady?
I don't remember.
When I was cashier in Lincoln, Nebraska, I was young then and I needed to earn some money. And I was cashier. And everything has gone along just fine. First they put me out washing the dishes in the kitchen. And a guy come in there and he says, you get her out of that kitchen. You get her in there waiting on the table. She don't belong in here washing dishes. So they put me in there. Well, the next I was cashier there. Cummins was his name. And they had some kind of program going on in which the town was literally filled with people. And of course, our cafe got a lot of people. And so I was cashier back there, the only one that ever touched it, and took care of it. And one night, we checked up our money, and we were $5 bill minus. And we counted it over. Yes, $5 missing. And do you know, I went home and that worried the life out of me, I couldn't sleep. And I thought, I wonder if he thinks I really took it. And so that bothered me, and I prayed about it, and that went on with it 2 years. And they had a water tank about that big at the side of this counter. They'd have no water with your faucet. And they put ice in it. And you put ice and make it cold. And that bothered me, that $5 bill. I said, God, I wonder if he really does think I took it. And I cry about it, pray about it. So one day, what do you suppose? That little water tank began to drip, just one drop at a time. And he said, Nellie, I wish you'd look in the counter, in the money box there when I pull it out, because that's dripping just a little drop at a time, and I don't want that to get wet. Well, you open up the drawer, and I'll look and see if it's getting in there. And so when we opened that up, after 2 years of that money being gone, $5 bill, he opened it up, and I let out a war whoop, and he thought there was something wrong with me. He said, Miss Gordon, what's the matter with you? Oh, I said, there's our $5 bill that we lost 2 years ago. There. Well, look up there. It got fastened way up in the top of that thing and never come down. And there were 2 years. There was that money. It was minus. Now I tell you, oh, and there was a lady that was one of the best cashiers in Lincoln, old elderly, and I told that story and she heard it. And say, she went back to the place she had worked for 2 or 3 years, and the same thing happened to her. And she told him about it. Well, I'll pull the door out if you want to look up there. And boy, she found the money. It was stuck way up in the top. I never forgot that. He said, now, Miss Gordon, I want you to know that I never thought you took it. I'll be honest with you, I believe you. I never thought that you did.
Now tell about the peanuts and the steers getting into your garden.
Oh, my God. I had a hand cultivator. Oh. Well, Will was away, and I wanted a garden. So I had the biggest garden and a crazy old fence. I couldn't fix it good. One of the neighbors helped me. And I had that garden up and a long row of peanuts. And it was just coming by. So one, just a minute. So one night, they brought a whole lot of old Texas steers up there because they run out of feed, and we had a lot of green grass. And they were out there, and I didn't know they were there, and I went down there in the morning to see about my nice garden, and there wasn't even a spear of grass in there. Those old critters had gotten in there and eaten everything up, and I just stood there like that. And that old plow, I hurt my side, and I didn't know what was the matter. It was ruptured, and I didn't know. And I'd go home and lay on the bed and cry. I didn't know what was the matter. I was doing that plowing myself. Well, now I tell you, if we didn't have it there, but I didn't have a spear of grass left in my garden. No garden, no. Will wasn't home, so I had to do it.
Grandma, how about tell us when you went to Albion College? Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Albion College?
Tell us about when you went to Albion College.
Oh.
Your schedule.
Oh, say, a member of Dad's family, Maddie Drew, was a daughter, and we wanted to go to college, church, somewhere. We didn't have any money. And so I said, well, we got the faith. God will give us the money if we would just go. And well, how will we ever do it? Well, I don't know. And we had moved in a little old parsonage place, and we picked up a book. And there it was about the school. And it told about it. And I told Maddie, say, let's run away and go to school. I said, Michael, we don't have any money, you don't need it. Well, we could work. So we did it. We got in we went up the streetcar, and I said to the conductor, say, mister, which house do you come the closest to when you go into this university place? Why, we go right past the house there, or that rose bushes. We go between the rose bush and their house. That house? Yeah. Well, I'm looking for a house where I can get some board, room, and work. And, well, we go right past the door. Well, all right, that's the thing. Come on, Maddie. And I don't know what money we had, 50 cents or something left over. We go to school. And so Maddie and I sat on the campus, the green grass, and we were kind of blue and beginning to get evening. And I said, say, where are we going to sleep tonight? Well, I don't know. And I said, no, God, there's only one hope. I've got a cousin up there named Russell Kirkpatrick, and he goes here to school. Now, there's only one hope if you just hear me and send him by here. And we sat there a while, and lo and behold, here come Russell. And I said, there he comes. All right. Now, what are you doing down here? Maddie and I are going to school. Well, you got a place to stay? No. I just wondered if you knew any place. Know any place? Well, there's a woman here ahead of every CTU. She takes girls in one time until they get a room and get a job. Well, where is she? Will you take us up there? Yes, we will. He took us up there and we asked. He said the president wants someone to cook and keep house. Oh, Maddie, I said, not the president. I never do that. And she says, well, that's a big job, but I'll take that job if you take another little one. I'll take a little one. So I was, and oh, was that woman fussy. Well, she had a little bell, and I'd have to set the table, make the food, put it on, and then they'd eat that up, and she'd tap her little bell, I'd come in, clean all the dishes off, sweep the table, and then put on the second course. And she had to go three. That's the way Maddie and I got started there at the university, I tell you. And the place was Will's parents. Will's parents, and do you know why would he ever brag? He said, I never had been fooled once in my life. Never. I remember what he said. I thought, I'm going to fool you. We had a girl there that she was taller than a man, and her shoes looked just like a man's shoes. And I had a great big old heavy coat, all colored. And I said, now you girls back me and I'm going to see if we're cool here. How are you going to do it? Make believe that's the man under the bed. And I said then, now you got to stick with me. When I go down those steps yelling and say, oh, Mr. Curtis, there's a man under the bed, man under the bed. I said, you come right down and follow me. Yes, there is. So, and they did. And he said, oh, I think not. He rolled up his newspaper. And do you know, he really thought it then. And say, here he got back there, come out of there. I say, come out of there. And took those shoes and began to pull, and he went over backwards right on the floor, pulled the shoes off. Oh, gosh. Oh, he said that was the first time he ever got me. First train ever there, a train. And they needed a man for the postage taking baggage in the mail. And so Will needed money. I would be out there alone on the homestead, it didn't matter, and they gave him the job. So he got that job of carrying the mail. And do you know, when the time came for us to leave Wyoming, we filed up on the homestead, it was ours then. And do you know then, I had to take care of all those stuff on the ranch. And run those old cows off of there, I tell you. And there was one horse that was white. What did they call him? And he had pink eyes. And I was scared of him. And he got out, and an old man clear across the Crazy Woman Creek. That was his horse. And Royal run home. Mom, would you come down to the water creek quick as you can come? That white horse belongs to that man clear across the bridge on the creek. And he wants you to chase the horse home. And I walked clear down there for near 2 miles and to chase his old horse home. And I'm afraid of those old pig eyes and white horse. And those great big cactus plants and all. And I said, oh God help me. He had a long rope on him. So I got clear on the other of that rope and I made him go that way. And then he'd go to the water edge. Now she said, make your hands go this way, and then make that rope go this way. And well, I was doing this. and he says, my horse isn't here. My horse isn't here. And so I said, well. And then the funny thing come in, I was scared of him. I was alone, and Royal was so little. And do you know that he says, I'll pay you, I pay you. No, no, no. I didn't want him to get that near. I was afraid of him. And so he reached in there, had some money, and he brought out 3 pennies that were little dudes that he found out on the prairie there. And he gave me the 3 pennies. Well, Will said, well, we're going to have some fun with those 3 pennies. What you going to do? I'm going to borrow a hole right at the top of each one. We put a wire through it and put it up on the wall. 3 pennies, perfect, making that horse go home. Why, say, horrible.
Yeah, you can get people. Look at the guys. See if you can see the red light.
What red light? There isn't anything in there.
Don't do that.
I want one of them too.
Okay. You can pick a color.
Let's see. David. I've got a paper over here.
So
I can send her current copies. Oh, it looks real good.
No, you are.
That was good. Thank you. Hi, sweet girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Here. Hi, Shirley. Where are your sandals? I mean, I can't be wonderful. I sure know where you can steal your pants from there.
How you doing, honey? I'm tired. I'll bet. Yeah, that's if something happens to my film, then I'll have to find out.
Charlie.
Dad run up behind Darlene and put a piece of seaweed Hey, what you got? Boy. Yeah, that looks nice. Roger had
Not exactly new one, October 1907.
Yeah, a little bit on the old side.
Yeah, sense of humor too.
I've got his, one of the one here a while back, he gave them to me, and I've got it rolled in the new.
Here's the top to that.
You don't might announce that. He went first took at the first course, the college course of music, and then when Dad took the first record course. I don't just how much the course was completed, but she had quite a bit of
Grandpa's own personal.
Oh, maybe they have a and he go out there, well, there's horses. Yeah, but you, I know, and your name.
Who would have Don or Gary? Oh, that's Papa Don.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I just think
That was,
I can't realize that's what they're gonna
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, well, hey, Bill, I sure will. Tell him goodbye for you. Gee, that's too bad you guys didn't have more time to talk.
Yeah, Gary had to take Jason to a birthday party.
Oh.
And I think he'll come back because he missed the last. In the Philippines, it's all these corners. And I just think to the front of that.
Yeah, it'd be nice. The only thing I kind of hated after Dad died, he threw a bunch of his stuff down there. Where they were killed at. And they had all the stack of old time pictures. Nobody knew where they were. Just tossed them out.
Geographic nice to
I've got some, he gave Silver some. I've got stacks of Geographic magazine. I've taken about 6, 7. Oh yeah, they're all online. Oh really?
Hey. 1935.
Motor vehicle.
I didn't know that was in there.
30th Avenue. Oh yeah.
I used to get a kick out of him when he used to back the car up down the
I've got a draft.
in the garage there. He used to
1935.
Well, it's a long driveway, too.
Yeah, it was. But he did. His name was back up.
It was narrow through there.
Yeah, he had some paint taken off the car.
The old, what they call that? Bluebird Overland. The one that old Kiggins. Kiggins, every guy, the old friend was he died. He wanted to have that car. Jimmy Hutchins.
Wyoming ranches to Miss Railway.
Grass Lake, Nebraska? Michigan? I bet, yeah.
Long day. Maybe something else
We
happened
had a
here.
house full of, and he was born in School.
Well, they didn't, that's what they say. They just
Yeah, I heard all of it.
one day that came out.
Yeah, I do, because Nellie had it, so it's supposed to
So when I sit down,
I used to go there, and Nellie comes up like I said,
They call them a flipper, a Ford. That's a model This one's, they call it a spring wagon. And,
I'll back it up and then I'll make it
All right.
move forward.
We're recording.
don't walk in front.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's so good.
We can watch these later on video if we want to. There's Sylvia. Glenn Gordon.
George Gordon. W. Gordon.
That guy was a nut.
Yeah, that one.
He was a nut.
Yeah.
Glenn's Tumbler Vision.
These are Glenn?
Has some wonderful kids.
Did you? Yeah.
That's a good. There you are.
Nellie, Curtis.
Keep doing that. I'm getting it on the mic, so we'll know who they are. Tell them who they are. I like that.
George and Mary.
Yeah.
That's the way the Gordons used to ham it up. Mary and Leah.
Jack, why don't you take her away?
Mary Gordon.
There's Lanny.
George and Mary Gordon.
That's Uncle George. Picture of that.
Who's that now? That's Mary Ann. She didn't want her picture taken.
Yeah, she was going to take them for
Yeah, she didn't want her picture taken.
Beautiful. Ruth Miller.
Ruth Miller.
Esther Ruth.
Yeah.
She come stay in that roof down in Newport.
Yeah, we just got to know her so well.
Mary Gordon, my wife.
Big 30s, I guess. Big 30s.
Because see, he's been
That's a neighbor of Mary.
Got a neighbor.
Eldridge Gordon.
That's Elbridge. That's Elbridge there.
Albert, that's Uncle George's middle boy.
Oh, now Ron.
Ron, there's You know Ron? Ron?
Is this Sally or
Take a look at those eyes there. You thought that's the same as your granddaughter.
Granddaughter or daughter?
See that?
That's Mary Gordon. I
That's the
always, a little bit shy there, just a little. There you go. Marianne.
Oh, my word. That's Ron.
Oh, I fooled him. Royal.
That's Mary's sister. Mary's Gordon's
Wasn't that Leon?
That's Mary's,
Mary's
nephew. Will Curtis. John. 1948. 1958.
Glenn and
Yes, where's this? Yes, that's it.
Glenn's oldest daughter. George and John Gordon. My father. Edna, then Mildred, then Nellie, then John. Flag is on the day that's celebrating a new state in the Union. I think it might have been Hawaii or Alaska.
pigeons coming in.
Poor pigeons.
Nothing coming from the ground.
Eating, yes they do. I got a little excited and didn't get the time.
It must have been a hot day and you're protecting it from both ends. Yeah.
You remember this big Look, John. He's still angry. He was the expert. Glenn's best friend, neighbor, Mildred Burgess.
She was real happy.
I like that dress.
Mother, you don't have to announce it out loud.
You're glad I'm in the dark.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, you made wrote that song for Molly Girl, Mildred. Yeah.
Glenn Gordon.
Yeah, Beverly.
Yeah.
Well, Derek.
Yeah. And
That's Jan again.
I don't know, Mildred.
That's
That's Arnett. That's a friend.
Who's that, Doris?
I wrote Suzanne, Roxanne, a friend of the family that came through.
Mary's sister.
Yeah. Leon,
He's the one that played the organ.
can't remember the last name.
Mildred Burgess. Very shy person.
Very dramatic.
This is her husband, Bill Burgess. They told him to laugh. Edna's best friend.
Friend of Edna.
There's Edna Anderson.
Fred,
Always had
Sure, but we know
George
There's George. He had a certain.
Oh, Monkey George. Nellie. Harry.
In her closet. Jill in her closet.
George Van's brother. That's Keith. And his sister.
That's George. Yeah, you can tell. It looks like he was a kid.
Doris,
Yeah? That's what.
what his name?
Oh, Greyhound dogs. Right there. Fine? Yeah, he wears
I'm gonna just cut it off for a second.
Uncle George. Train the
John Gordon.
Boys with cameras.
Now you get over there. You get over there. We're telling her to smile. She was already smiling.
Here's Royal.
Royal's daughter.
I can remember you had your hair short.
Talking all the time.
That looks like our house on, well, it is. It's our house. It is. Yeah, that's our house.
This is,
That's out of Malden Court, I believe.
that was,
Royal Mountain.
No, that's not.
Not that one there, but the other one.
sorry, Sandy. No, that wasn't Sandy. That was up there in the Cascades.
Yeah.
We had the big lake.
The Cherryville really was the town. The old Gilchrist Wolfie.
Yeah.
Comes a logging truck in.
Yeah, here comes your logging truck.
Watch what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
He could ride past me.
This is very impressive.
Look at that. That's what happens to them. That's where they go.
Yeah. Don't knock on.
There we go. Here.
Yeah, they don't go on private logging roads, so it doesn't matter how many logs are on, they just break the truck down, they could put on all they could get on.
Where they got all those logs from?
Yeah, they come all over and walk around and all over the area in there.
Now we gotta head back for another load.
They come into the trailer and drop it in the trailer up there and take off another. Can't see them good enough to recognize them as a fellow here.
My father just got married off.
That's up to Gilchrist too, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah, that's a dam there. Yeah, that's a Gilchrist Mill.
That's a pretty picture.
And go shotgun feed on that for the carry. Roger.
There she is.
Yeah, that's Darlene. Yeah, that's Darlene.
Math work.
That's Giggle. Giggle.
Yeah, that's enough of that one.
Gentleman's agreement? I know you're not much of a gentleman.
Just do one time and Cheryl pick up and Nellie on the chorus.
Are you going to sing?
No, they're gonna sing. We're just gonna do this one time.
Good. I'd like to record it with this, so listen.
Other recording. Oh, and that was a big bang?
Yeah. I'll do a little intro here. Wow.
What was it? Come running through the door. Close up on the pianist.
Yeah, come around and smile.
Who said that?
There she is. Hey, all right. Wow.
Well, we practiced this with my daughter. Now she's out feeding her horse. So I guess we'll just be horsing around here.
What's the name?
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Give Your Heart to Jesus, and it was published in 1955. It says copyright 1955 by Nellie G. Curtis and Gospel Lighthouse Songs. And it comes in this folder. There's actually 2 or 3 songs on this in this sheet. And Grandma Curtis wrote all the songs in this. And I've chosen to do Give Your Heart to Jesus. take away your sorrow. He will every burden bear. Won't you give your heart to Jesus? He has called you oft before. Come to him while he is calling. Soon his voice you'll hear no more. Earthly life is so uncertain.